underway on day 4 of our loop and day 2 of travel on the Great Loop in Georgian Bay. We're leaving Three Finger Bay at the moment, also known as Five Finger Bay. Heather's down there cleaning off the deck from all the mud. Our destination today is Shawanaga River, which is north of Parry Sound, and we're hoping to meet up with some friends in an anchorage there. That's an anchorage we've not been to before. So we are a little further along in our journey to Shawanaga River. We are basically exiting Parry Sound, and so we're about halfway through our journey, I would think, maybe not quite halfway. Frodo looks fairly satisfied at the moment, and we've just come through navigating some fairly not overly tight waters, but it's a little uncomfortable. It takes a lot of concentration, and but now we're in some open water as we head out toward Georgian Bay, and we'll go across the west side of Franklin Island, and then we'll start heading back into the small craft route. We are headed in the Shawanaga Inlet river off of Georgian Bay. It's a beautiful scenery here. Nice river. There's an S-curve up ahead that we're going to have to be cautious of. Dave, who's on dinghy, will be giving us an escort past the S-curve. We are going to head upriver and then anchor way up ahead, but it looks like a beautiful entrance here. Looking forward to it. Well, we are anchored once again. You can see Good Idea just on our stern. Dave and Kathy. We are in what's called Shawanaga. I'm not sure if I got that right. Shawanaga River, and it's gorgeous out here. I'll flip the camera around and let you have a look. Apparently this waterfall back here was quite impressive some years ago, but is not more than a trickle now. But you can see a pool of water up above where the water's flowing down from. Beautiful.
So there's a slightly different view now off of our stern. This anchorage is detailed in the Great Lakes Cruising Club documentation. We are members of the Great Lakes Cruising Club, and there's just a ton of information if you are a subscribing member. It's worth it, even if you're just passing through the area, to be a member during your loop. We are out for a sunset cruise. There's Sea Cloud. Pretty. We might have to leave tomorrow, which kind of sucks because we just got here and it was a long day. But, you know, we have to make our decisions and be safe. So I want to see what there is to see. Look at the colors here. I guess we're getting closer to sunset, but boy, a setting sun really brings out the colors in the rocks. We are off to see a waterfall. I don't think it's like Niagara Falls or anything close to that.
No, it's pretty tame.
A water trickle?
No. This waterfall is a slightly more. It's not Niagara Falls, but it's slightly more impressive.
All right. Okay, there it is. For a long time I thought this little trickle that was flowing behind our boat was the waterfall. It's quite a bit more substantial than that.
So I did go up in there with Dave, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do it again. It's much darker out now.
Yes. Hard to see through this water. The water has a, I guess there's a lot of staining in the water from leaves
it's
and
vegetation dye, really, from pine.
So it's kind of browny gold
But
and
nice
impossible
impossible
to see through. So today we are leaving the Shawanaga River and heading back out to Georgian Bay via Pointe Baril, and then northwest through Georgian Bay up to the Byng Inlet, where we plan to stay in Brit at Wright's Marina, and we'll look after getting services, pump out, get water, and get some laundry done and a little bit of shopping before we move north again. We are on the Pointe Baril Inlet right now, on our way back out to Georgian Bay. We once spent a lot of time in here, and it's really quite beautiful along here. I can't remember why they call it Pointe Baril, but I know right at the entrance there's literally a barrel marking the point. So I hope to catch that soon for you.
This is a shot of our current scenery. It's a little overcast today, but we're just chugging along here at about 6 or 7 knots. It's a no wake coming out of the Pointe Baril exit out to the open water, and so we are respecting that for the cottagers that are here. But once we get out on the open water, we'll probably bring it back up to at least 8 knots.
Got some very, very tight markers as we're coming through here. We're just exiting the Pointe Baril channel or inlet, and yikes, I mean, so close. And entering the small craft route. And there is the Pointe Baril lighthouse up there. I just absolutely love lighthouses. And if I recall correctly, that barrel is tucked right behind the lighthouse.
Leaving Pointe Baril Station, there's just a really pretty little lighthouse that's on the point. You can see its light is lit, and this is basically our last point before we head out into the open water of Georgian Bay.
Where is that barrel? I don't know, maybe what I was seeing was the big anchor. I did not see. Oh my goodness. There's the barrel. All by itself on the point. Too funny. I guess we were spying it between things on the building. Well, there you go, folks. Pointe Baril. That's French. Pointe Baril. We are just coming in to Byng Inlet, and let me tell you, the entrance has been incredibly confusing for us. We were out on Georgian Bay and went up the channel markers, following the buoys coming in, and there are buoys everywhere once you get in here, because the small craft route comes out, does a little shot out on Georgian Bay, and cuts back in the other side of Byng Inlet. Just pay attention. I think the easiest thing is to read the numbers on the buoys to know for sure where you are. We started with a free pump out from Wright's Marine, which they offer to AGLCA loopers. And our route today took us from Byng Inlet through to the entrance to the Colins Inlet at Beaverstone Bay and into Mill Lake.
We are just at the entrance to Beaverstone Bay, leaving the red on our right as we head into the bay. Beaverstone is not super protected in high waves or threats to the boat are quite visible. You can see there's lots of rock around, and it's quite navigable though. It can be a little nerve-wracking coming through Beaverstone. Well, just about anywhere up in the North Channel there are certainly threats that you have to be aware of, and you have to remember to keep your buoy straight. Sometimes there's just a sea of islands ahead of you in Beaverstone.
Zoom on the loon.
And I zoom on the loon. I can't see the loon.
Is that
Oh, I see him.
2 o'clock?
Yeah. I guess he's too small. There he is. Loons are not plentiful up here, but they are up here, and it's really nice to see them. We love seeing the loons, and it's special to hear them. I've lost them. Not even a mile into Colins Inlet, and the view and the beauty have changed. It's just always spectacular going through Colins Inlet. It's a real treat. Just love it. Good morning.
Good morning.
We are in the Colins Inlet, and it's one of our favorite passages up in the North Channel area in Canada, and it takes you from Beaverstone Bay off of Georgian Bay basically into Killarney. It's the long way around, I suppose, but if the bay were rough, or if you were just intoxicated by the beauty of the environment that is the North Channel and the pink granite and the quartz and the windswept pines, then this is a nice slow route that will take you through. You can anchor in Mill Lake, you can anchor in Beaverstone, you can even anchor in the Colins Inlet. So you could spend
A lot of people like,
days coming through here.
is that one keyhole?
Keyhole is up ahead, yeah.
I think that the fishing is great. Certainly we have cast quite a number of fishing boats. And I think the first time Cam was ever in the Colins Inlet was when he hired a fishing guide out of Killarney Mountain Lodge and came back in here and had some pretty good luck catching some northern pike.
Which is very tasty. It's not the most appealing fish to clean, but they are very, very tender, white flesh meat that's delicious.
Well, we are exiting the Colins Inlet. We had a short stay in Mill Lake. It's very nice there, but you have to be flexible when you're boating, and we learned that these winds are going to be up until Thursday, and we had next to no Wi-Fi in there, which is bad when somebody is still working. So here's the Colins Inlet, and the destination today, well, we're going to go right through Killarney and go to Covered Portage Cove. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Don't get tired of this. Definitely a narrow part of the Colins Inlet.
Oh, it's not bad.
We are just coming to the end of the Colins Inlet. It's been a beautiful, calm run. Earlier we were saying that this can get you out of rough water, and look at the sky, it looks amazing. Anyway, we are expecting to go into some rough water. Shouldn't be too bad. I guess 2 to 2.5 foot waves. We are at the end of the fetch.
but perhaps that means that it's getting some protection from the land. I don't know. Our friend just told us that it's a bit roady. Here we are exiting the Colins Inlet, and you can see we're getting into the rougher water here.
The pollen on the water is a little bit nerve-wracking because you keep looking over, seeing sort of yellow shadows. That's if you look at the rocks over beside that green buoy, it sort of shows up yellow, but all this pollen is like, oh, is that a rock?
Yeah, it's been a really bad year for pollen. Anyway, off in the distance there, in between the pink rock, there's a bit of a dip, and that's what we're aiming for. I thought we'd be able to see the Killarney Lighthouse, but not yet.